Wow. So pretty. I love it when new products live up to the hype. I feel like that's what's going on here. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I really wanted to try out a couple of new launches. So after the holidays, I finally kind of caught up on my PR unboxings, and I feel like there were so many really good things, but two new launches in particular really caught my eye. I'm excited to try them. So instead of doing like a full face of new products, I'm just gonna do an eyeshadow palette, a blush, lip liners, and lip glosses. I'll show you what brands they're from and everything like that, but the rest of the products are gonna be products that I've already used and loved, so I'm just gonna be reusing some. It's kind of funny because I know the most recent video that I posted talking about how in 2021 I want to do more like natural makeup looks, which that's true, especially for an everyday basis. But today I'm in a smoky eye mood. So you just never know when it comes to makeup. You just never know what you feel like. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. I will show you guys what we're gonna try out as we go. But first, I've got my brows on. I used my go-to Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and now I'm going to prep the eyes with my NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base before going into our new eyeshadow palette that I wanna try. I'm just gonna use a flat brush to kind of blend that out. Okay, so I actually got a couple of new eyeshadow palettes in the mail, but I wanted to try this one out on camera first. It's the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie 2 palette. So her Nudie palette was, I think, her first launch, if I'm not mistaken, and so she expanded the Nudie eyeshadow range. I actually attempted to do some B-roll, so I will show you guys right here my amateur shot of this palette before I touched it at all, so it's brand new so you can kind of see. I also swatched the top row for you guys, which is a little bit more like warm and brown, and then I also swatched the bottom row, which is actually a little bit more purple, and there is a bronze in there too. I really like the color scheme, and I'm really excited to try this out on the eyes. It looks like I've tried it, but I just swatched it. I haven't put it on the eyes yet, so I'm excited to try this out. And like I said, I'm kind of in a mood for more of like a glam look today. So this eyeshadow palette retails for $36. You get 10 shades, so I feel like that's a really good price for what you get. Obviously, we'll see how it performs, but I'm excited. I think I'm gonna start off with the shade Bum for my transition, and let me take off the protective layer on the mirror. That's always so satisfying. All right, starting off with this first shade, Bum, which is a really pretty kind of peachy nude. I'm just gonna work that into the crease and a little bit above as my transition. This is so pretty. It's actually more pigmented than what I thought it would be in the pan. I thought that it would come off a little bit lighter than this, but it's more pigmented than I thought, which is nice. So I'm just continuing to buff and blend this to really make sure I have a nice base to fade the other colors into. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this shade right here called Low Cut. It just seems really pretty, and I think it's gonna match the blush I'm gonna try as well as the lip colors that I have to try too. So I'm going to start to build this up on the outer portion of the lid, starting to add a little bit of that depth. Once there's less on the brush, I'm going to take that into the crease. And I'm working in light layers just to make sure I don't overdo it, because it's always easy to add more pigment rather than trying to remove when you've gone overboard. I feel like those two shades mixed together right here are really pretty. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. All right, I'm gonna go back into the brush that we used for the transition. I'm not adding any more color. I'm just wanting to further blend the edges. So I'm just using this to buff that out. So pretty. Okay, so when I swatched this palette, this shade right here really stood out to me as far as the creaminess went. So I'm gonna use this. It's called Lush, and it's just like a really nice bronze. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this using my finger onto the eyelid. Oh yeah, it's so buttery. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. I'm gonna take a brush and kind of blend out this inner portion. Wow, ooh, I love that color. Same thing on this eye. Same thing, I'm just going to buff out the edges with that brush. I kind of made a mess on the side of my nose because my nails are kind of getting too long to use my fingers to apply eyeshadow, so I'll have to clean that up in a second. Just for a little more pop on the inner portion, I'm gonna dip into the shade Cheeky. Again, just with my finger, and I'm just going to apply this on that inner third to create a little bit more dimension. So pretty. That definitely has more visible reflex than the Lush shade. The Lush shade was like a pure satin metallic, I would say. This one has like glitter reflex in it, which is so nice. Another shade that I was impressed with when I swatched was this one right here, the deepest shade in the palette, called Risque. It's a gorgeous deep purple, and I just kind of want to add a bit of this to the outer corner. So I'm just taking a smaller brush and really focusing this in the outer V of the eye. Yes, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I really love how all these colors look together. I'm just gonna try to clean up that inner corner a little bit before I move on. I'm also going to clean up any fallout, which honestly, there's not really any fallout, but we'll just clean up anyway, just in case. All right, I'm going to apply Top Lash Mascara. I'm gonna be using the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara, just on the top lashes for now. I'm really happy with how the eyes look so far. Let's just quickly do complexion. Like I said, the base products are things I've already used before and love. So I'm gonna start off with this right here. It's the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. Just took a bit of that on my fingertips, and I'm going to massage it into the complexion. I love this primer. I've loved it for years. It's kind of fun that it's back in my routine because it's a product that I started off my channel using, I'm pretty sure. So I've known about it and I've used it for such a long time, but it's like back in my favorite things right now. I love it. It's so good. For foundation, I'm going to be using this one from Hailey's Beauty. This is the Reform Liquid Luxe Luminous Finish Foundation in the shade 2.15. Just going to do one pump on the back of my hand. I'm going to start off by applying this with my Luxie 680 Pro Precision Face Brush. And I'm just going to evenly distribute this all over the complexion with the brush first. I actually think I want a little more, so I'm going to do like a half a pump more. I'm just going to apply that all over. Doesn't have to be perfect, just pretty evenly distributed because I'm just going to go back in with my sponge to really blend things out. So I'm just going to take what's left on the back of my hand and my Thrive Cosmetics sponge, and I'm going to press this into the skin. And then for concealer, I found this in my concealer drawer and it's been so long since I've used it. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. I have mine in the shade 4. It's been so long, seriously, since I've used this, so I don't really remember how I feel about it. I remember liking it, but I wanted to use it again. I love the applicator on it, honestly. It's such a perfect size, and I feel like it picks up just the right amount of product as well. I'm gonna put some of this in the center of the face too. All right, and then I'm just gonna go straight back in with my sponge to blend that all out. I actually really am noticing the luminosity that gives, which, you know, makes sense since it's the Luminous Silk Concealer. I really like it. I'm going to set the face with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. I used this the other day and was reminded of how good it is. So I'm going to use it again. And I'm just going to set the whole face with this, starting in the T-zone, and then I'll use a fluffier brush for the outer portions of the face. Okay, now that I've applied powder all over the face, I'm just going to gently take my same sponge and press it down into the skin, just to keep things looking as natural as possible on the complexion. All right, we're gonna warm things up with my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I have mine in the shade 01 Sunlight. I'm just gonna start warming up the face with this. You guys already know how much I love this stuff. All right, I'm actually going to move back to the eyes now, starting off with the shade Low Cut. I'm gonna take this and run it really close to the lower lash line from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner. I think this shade is so pretty. I love it. I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm going to dip into the bronze shade called Lush. And I'm basically just going to go kind of right on top of that, about 2/3 of the way across, starting from the inner corner. This bronze shade is also so pretty. And next I'm wanting to tie in that peach tone that we started out with on the lower lash line. So I'm going to dip back into this. Again, this is called Bum. And I'm just going to take this along the edge of both those shades we applied and start to build that up to create a little bit of a transition to tie in the tones on the top lid down to the bottom. I'm also kind of carrying that up to the outer corner up here, just so everything looks seamless. I'm going to take my small powder brush that we used before and just make sure that it's not too low. I do love when the lower lash line is buffed down a little bit, but I just want to make sure it's not too low. All right, I'm going to pop on that same Bite Beauty mascara to the lower lashes. All right, before we move on to the rest of the face, I'm just going to revisit the brows and touch them up really quick. All right, I'm actually going to apply highlighter next. I'm going to take my Clinique Uplighting Illuminating Powder. It looks like this, and I use mine in the shade 01 Nude Glow. I'm just going to take this on my Persona Cosmetics blush and highlight brush. This is such a good brush. And I'm just going to start to build this up on the outer portion of the face. You can use this powder as like a finishing powder if you want to add glow back in to the entire complexion, or you can use it more focused like I am right now, and it creates the most gorgeous soft, natural looking highlight. Alright, so the next product that I'm so excited about is a new launch from Persona Cosmetics, who you guys know I love so much. Their super blushes are some of my favorites, and they just launched a new shade called Terracotta. It's more of like a brown kind of toasted color. I'm really excited to try this out. I also wanted to show you guys in comparison to Carmel, which is the more mauve, and then Georgia, which is the more pink shade. So you can kind of get an idea of the tone and undertone of Terracotta. So apparently this is ideal for medium to deep skin tones. I'm obviously fair to light, but I figured if I just use a little bit, maybe it'll work for me. We'll try it. So here it is right here. I'm so excited to try this out. All of the super blushes are so pigmented, so I'm definitely making sure there's not too much on the brush. And I'm just gonna smile and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. See, I feel like in small amounts that works. It just adds that slight bit of warmth. I actually really like blushes like this that kind of could almost pass as a bronzer, so it doesn't look like your cheeks are too bright or colorful. I know a lot of people don't like that effect when it comes to blushes. So something like this might be a good option for those people. That's really nice. I think it's pretty. Yeah, just kind of warmed up the complexion. I'm going to take my powder brush and make sure I didn't go too far in, just so that it all blends together. So pretty. Okay. I am so excited that Persona Cosmetics launched lip liners. So the new lip liners come in 4 shades: Dusk, Almond, 90210, and Rosewood. They all look so pretty. Some of them have more of a pink undertone, some of them have more of a brown undertone. I'm not sure which one I should do. I feel like my eyes are both pink and brown, so I feel like any of these would work. Let's try out Dusk first and see what that looks like. This is the most pink color out of all 4. So pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, such a gorgeous color. But now that I have it on my lips, I feel like I do want something a little more brown for this look. Let's try the shade Almond. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? This is stunning. Oh my gosh. You know when you apply something and you just immediately fall in love? That's what just happened to me. That is such a good color. So this kind of has a little bit of a pink undertone to it as well, but it's not as pink as the first one. And then the other 2 are definitely a little bit more on the brown side. I love this color. I don't want to take it off. So that's what I'm going to use. Persona Cosmetics also launched 2 new shades in their glosses. I love their glosses. So first off, we have a shade called Marrakesh, which is kind of like a rosy pink, and then another gorgeous shade called Twilight, which has a beautiful golden glitter to it. I almost feel like I should try this one out, but I feel like both would look nice with this makeup look. Maybe I'll layer them. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the shade Marrakesh and just put on a little bit of this on top of that lip liner. If you've never tried Persona Cosmetics glosses, you have to. They're truly some of the best out there. Okay, so there's the lips with just the lip liner and Marrakesh. But come on, I have to try this one out. It looks so pretty. So again, this is called Twilight. I'll just focus this maybe on the very center of the lips to create that extra dimension. Wow, so pretty. I love it when new products like live up to your expectations or live up to the hype. It's the best. I feel like that's what's going on here. Okay, I'm gonna step back and assess the situation. And of course, I'm gonna add a tiny bit more blush. I'm also gonna make sure that there's no mascara marks on the eyelid. I'm just taking that Clinique highlighter that I used and applying a bit of that to the inner corner. I feel like a smoky eye look for me is just not complete without something in the inner corner. Even though this one's kind of subtle, I actually like that. I'm just adding a little bit more bronzer as well. I'm going to set my face with the Honest Beauty Calm and Go Face Mist. I'm going to cover up the eyes and just spray the sides of the face. And then I'm just going to go back in with my sponge and make sure that setting spray is nice and pressed into the skin so that everything looks fresh. As always, I can't live without a brow gel, so I'm going to go ahead and apply my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Gel to the brows to lock them in place. Okay, wow. So this is the final look. I love how it turned out. I'm so, honestly, genuinely so impressed with this Laura Lee Nudie Patootie 2 palette. Oh my gosh, that bronze color was incredible. I love how they all go together, but there's some purples and pinks in here that you can play with, but they pair so well with the bronze and the orange. I'm so excited to continue to use this. I can't wait to create more looks with this. I'm obsessed with how this eye look turned out. I think it's so flattering. Everything blended like a dream, so Really excited about that palette. And then again, I'm equally as excited about the Persona new launches. That lip liner color, I mean, that made my heart stop. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited to try the other products. The terracotta blush is so pretty. If you're already a fan of the super blushes from Persona, you won't be disappointed in the shade. I do feel like it still works for fair light skin tones. Again, you just have to use a little bit of a lighter hand because they are so pigmented. And I feel like I don't even have to talk about the glosses. They're talking for themselves. I really love these two new shades. Again, this gloss formula is something I've loved for so long, so I knew I was gonna really enjoy them just based off the formula, but the shades really are so beautiful, and I think they're actually really stunning layered on top of each other like the way I did. Seriously, it makes me so happy when I try something that I'm interested in based off of looking at it and it really performs how I would want to or exceeds my expectations. I feel like all these products kind of exceeded my expectations, which is great. I love my makeup today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed just seeing me try out a couple of new launches and reusing everything else. I enjoyed filming this. It wasn't too overwhelming to try out all these products, and I'm so happy it was a good makeup day. I really honestly love how my makeup looks. So I would love to know if you guys have tried any of the new products that I tried today. So let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I feel so glam, and I have nowhere to go, but that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta get glam for yourself, you know? So I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!